host to 10 Super Bowls. Here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Rattler. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Saints at 11-2 now, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. Off the play fake, it's Rattler. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. You talk about this Washington defense, and they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll fake the give, and here's Rattler. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Daron Payne, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Rattler to the air on 2nd down. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. That catch for his career's number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, well,
and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Foster Moreau, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. The point after, good by Groupie. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
A yard all they need, but it's third down. To throw is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. They'll bring a tight end in motion left.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Washington.
Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Play action, now Rattler. And his throw here's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing is Rattler. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Rolling to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Dennis Allen, he makes a call, and his offense stays put. They're going to go for it. They give it off here to the tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. To the air is Rattler. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Rattler looks to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing once more, here's Rattler. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, first down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Kamara is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force, and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
17. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Groupie able to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 8. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Play action, now it's Daniels. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Daniels looking to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Throwing now is Daniels. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A 3rd down gain of 19. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Daniels. Flushed out right. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play, and the clock will run. No timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come, their first drive of the third quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Pushes him over. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. They get this out left. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play.
And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Alex Arma, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders have cut the lead back down to 2.
And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On play action, Rattler. This ball down the field for Pitts. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They go play action. Daniels. They'll roll him out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Robinson gets the toss on the right side. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Off the play fake, Daniels escaping the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
The offense on third down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To the air goes Daniels. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective third down play to move the chains. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and a give to Robinson. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now Daniels. And this is going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll throw. Here's Rattler.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 15-yard line. They'll go play action here with Rattler. Right back to Pitts again. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara.
Touchdown number 15 on the year.
And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. They'll turn to Kamara.
And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
He's back to throw. Buying time to his left.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Here comes 2nd down.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right.
Able to find Ertz.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
Now the Commanders going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts,
as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10.
He'll look to throw. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Back to throw.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Zach Ertz has it complete.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Daniels now on 1st and 10. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Reed. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
But we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So for New Orleans, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they'll drop to 10-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.